There, it is Taylor Bridges here, back with another video, another review of Life After Lockup. This is season 4, episode 48, and this episode is titled Love Isn't Enough. And that is the truth, all right? We start with Derek and Monique. I like starting with them. I was in a good mood when I watched this episode, so I was hoping for the best from all of these people, y'all. I tried. So if I go in on somebody, just know they deserved it, okay? Because I was in a great mood. Derek is up making breakfast for Monique. Last time we saw him, he was being forced to sleep on the couch because Monique found unknown numbers in his call log. Again, like I said last video, the numbers could have been a bill collector, a job opportunity, a payphone. It could have been a prayer line. But because Monique doesn't know every single number contacting him, he has to sleep on the couch. And now look, I'm not saying Derek isn't doing dirt, because he obviously is. It's just Monique's logic around where she draws the line. Derek has literally had sex with several women unprotected since getting out of prison. But finding an unknown number is where the buck stops. Girl, bye. It's just dumb. You've already shown Derek he can play with you. You forgave the huge stuff. So he knows the small stuff, it's all it's going to do is warrant a little attitude here and there. But you're not going to punish him too bad. Not at this point. He's done way worse. Monique is on the phone with her sister telling her about Derek's call log. The sister asks if Monique wants her to come over and kick Derek out. And Monique says no, she's going to go talk to him. And this is why they have so much mess going on between the families. Because Monique and Derek rile their siblings up with all the tea, only to stay with each other. This is exactly what happens. Derek grabs the flowers out of the trash can that he had gave to Monique the night prior. He gave them back to her. So that's one thing. Monique did look cute in her black silk robe. Derek made pancakes. And I think he put way too much whipped cream on those pancakes. And I thought, did Derek do this because Monique is big? Or does he really know her to like that much whipped cream? I'm just trying to make sure Derek isn't trying to play with Monique. Derek ends up showing Monique all his DMs and how women are sending, him all of this stuff, but he's not sending anything back. Then he calls a number in front of Monique to prove that it's just a homie. My thing is, why can't it be a woman? Derek just got out of prison. Does Monique really want Derek to only surround himself with men in the free world too? Why should it even be an issue if he did have a woman in his messages or his call log? I literally just hit up one of my homeboys the other day because he was on my mind, and I told him I'd give him a call during upcoming vacation week so we could just chop it up. You know what I mean? Nobody is going through my phone chastising me, trying to force me to call this number so they can see who it is. Yeah, right. And it's my male friend. My friend of the opposite sex. And so what? Monique, if you have to police Derek's every contact, you might not want to be with him. Why not just go be with someone you have trust for? Someone who you trust to interact with people of the opposite sex. Because whether you like it or not, you cannot control all of the people he's around and all of the people he communicates with. There's women at the gas station, the mailbox, the grocery store, the mall, everywhere. The more you try to deprive him of all this interaction with the opposite sex, the more he's going to crave it, and he's going to go out of his way to get to it without you finding out. So now, even when women are around, he wouldn't even dare let you know or find out. Even if he's not even there doing anything wrong. It's just not worth telling you anything at this point. And that's not a healthy relationship. You shouldn't want to control somebody this much. It's really not that serious. Like, Derek loves his champagne and that wine. That's all we see him drinking. What's hilarious is that Monique did all of this snooping, hurting her own feelings, slept alone the night before, woke up mad, only to forgive Derek in exchange for some pancakes with too much whipped cream. Like, Monique was just better off not snooping in the first place. If she wants a happy life with Derek, Monique needs to form an allergy to Derek's mobile devices. Because Derek is going to continue to do the bare minimum, and it's enough for you. So just leave it at that and stop overcomplicating things. They had this montage of them with this food porn stuff. It grossed me out. I wonder if Derek does this food porn stuff with the other women, or if he just does it with Monique. I'm just wondering. Because we haven't seen the other women that he messes with look like Monique. Not as large as Monique. So I'm just curious. Derek and Monique head to a night out at a club, and Derek's sister, while they're in the car on the way there, Derek's sister calls, and now she's yelling and cursing Derek out through the phone. The same behavior that Derek's sisters were doing to Monique, and Monique didn't like it when it happened to her. But yet she's sitting, all calm, thinking it's cute for her sister to be speaking to Derek disrespectfully on her behalf, while she's holding his hand on the way to the club. They're early to the club, so no one is around. That's exactly what Monique wanted. She wanted just him and her. The bottle girl is asking questions. I'm thinking it's, producer led. And it was, it was even more obvious that it was like producer heavy when Derek and Monique were taking the picture and she was trying to jump in the picture. Like, that was planned and forced. You know what I mean? So I wasn't worried about that. Monique says herself that women don't care about Derek kissing her in public and introducing her as his woman. Women are going to try no matter what if they're that thirsty. So if you understand that, Monique, why can't you realize you cannot stop every encounter with a female that he has? You have to either trust Derek to handle himself appropriately, whether you're around or not, or get gone. And it's super sad that she thinks it's cute to confine Derek to only hanging out with her with no one else around. Like, how much does she really love him if she doesn't even want him to enjoy his life and his freedom? Like, obviously, this is not sustainable. And her insecurity is just making her look so foolish. Monique's sisters are on the way to Monique's house. Derek says a threesome would have been good for their relationship. And low-key, I think so. Or I think Derek needs to tell Monique that he wants to be in an open relationship or something. And I think Monique needs to get with it and save herself the stress. It's clear that Derek wants other women in addition to what he has with Monique. And it's clear Monique is not leaving Derek. Why not set stipulations? You know what I mean? And just place it as an open relationship and leave it at that, because another season of Derek cheating on Monique and Monique complaining about it is just not going to work for me. Their whole segment that actually ends the episode with the sisters and a guy showing up pretty much looking like they're ready to fight and roll on the ground again. So we'll see how that interaction goes. And somebody rings the doorbell, so we'll see who that is. Sean and Sarah. Sean says he and Sarah talked about adopting Abby so that she could have the same last name as them both and then the baby. I can understand why that would warrant Sean's reaction to be so extreme once he found out, Sarah was sneaking behind his back to fool with Anthony. I just think it was all unnecessary drama. Like, Sarah was being unnecessarily sneaky. Like, Anthony's the little girl's dad. You should have just told Sean what was going on. But here we are, so fine. Sean needs time to process things before, like, meeting Anthony and all of that stuff. And I certainly get that. Sarah says she gets it, but she clearly doesn't. I do agree that Sarah was pushing this on Sean, like Sean said. Sarah, as the mother, withheld this information from her own daughter for the past 6-7 years. And now it's up to Sean to cooperate, to inform Abby who her dad is. Girl, bye. They get to the park to meet with Anthony. And off rip, I was Team Sean if anything pops off, okay? Anthony says Sean looks old as hell and he's not Sarah's type. And that's super funny because this old man is taking care of your daughter. He's not a drug addict, nor is he a criminal, and he keeps a job. Sarah's type is probably someone who can do all these things, not someone who's trying to holler at her from the halfway house before even having a relationship with his own daughter. Girl, bye. And now Anthony is ready to off somebody and mess somebody up over, keeping him from his child. Like, start with yourself. You kept yourself from your child. You don't get to be harder on other people for your life going to crap more than you are on yourself. You are the most responsible for your lack of relationship with your daughter. Sean walks up. He's not ready to shake the hand yet. And I'm thinking, Sean, grow up. But okay, fine. Sarah's just standing there looking stupid. Like, what was your plan, Sarah? What did you come here to do? Get this conversation going. But ultimately, Sean does end up, shaking Anthony's hand and supporting Anthony being there for the daughter. He even admits to misjudging Anthony beforehand. And I can respect that. But now, Anthony then has an attitude, with Sean for not originally shaking his head. And I was just like, Anthony, stop acting like you have no context as to why things are a little weird between you and Sean. You have context as to why things are like this. Sean ended up storming off to the car, but then he gets back out of the car. He goes back over to Anthony and then, apologizes. And I think he handled it like a man, just pretty much like the issue was when he walked up, he didn't shake his hand and he was a little hostile. Anthony didn't like that. Sean said his piece and stormed off, but now he's circling back to just go over and handle it, I think, in a mature manner. But then Anthony started doing the most, saying he can have Sarah if he really wanted her, all of this. But Anthony wants to talk about having respect. Like, Sean is the man that is taking care of your seed, Anthony. Like, the audacity. But it's Sarah who helped perpetuate all of this suspicion and this narrative in the first place. Justine and Michael. If Michael does not grow a pair and tell this mocha dude to have some respect for his wife, I'm going to scream. Justine, if you knew Michael was an absentee father to his previous children before he went to prison, why would you let him impregnate you? Riddle me that. Walk me through that logic. And now Michael is second guessing proposing in Vegas. They start going to see these homes. Michael says his music has brought in royalties and his shoes have been selling. And I don't know if I believe that, just based off the looks of their kitchen back in Pennsylvania. Justine says the money part is not of her concern. And that is concerning. Because what part of y'all having hella kids don't you get? Money is definitely a concern. It better be. Amber and Puppy. Puppy is nervous TC isn't going to be happy with her spending the night. And why would TC have an issue with you staying the night, Puppy? Does he have no reason to want you to stay over? I wonder. TC says Puppy is more than welcome there as long as she keeps the BS away. See, I like TC. He so far seems to be a straight shooter. And I just think he's not going to let the chaos come in and ruin what he's built up. Which is why he represses Amber so much. He doesn't accept Amber for who she is. He's trying to turn her into his idea of her. But I don't blame TC for regulating the chaos in his household one bit for that. He doesn't like the idea of Amber owning a bar. Just like none of us like the idea. He says she has a drinking problem. Again, which we already know. But Am I the only one that, understands Amber saying she was coping with the loss of the baby and she felt alone, and TC, him not making any of the appointments, when, because he wasn't in agreement with the procedure, even though the doctor told her it was her or the baby. Like, I could see how all of that could compound on top of her being an addict, because yes, she has a drinking problem. Like, I don't see why that's like going over heads. Like, yes, she already had a problem. But like, can't you see how like the procedure, the loss of the baby could compound and make it like even more depressing and stressful for her? It doesn't make it right, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to comprehend. And instead of telling her how much of a drinking problem she has, like, what are you contributing to the environment, TC? You see your partner going through it emotionally. You should be there for her. This is the woman you chose. Help her through it. It's what you do as partners. You don't beat them down, while they're all depressed. Get her help. Get her in a rehab or some classes. And yes, Amber is grown as hell. But sometimes, even as adults, we need a push from the people closest to us. Sometimes. And I can't imagine someone who's depressed and addicted having the mental and emotional capacity to get the proper help without some sort of push. This is the woman you chose. And I think TC needs to grow a set of emotions. Like, he is emotionally void. He doesn't understand his emotions, so he can't even be there for Amber. And Amber does need support through this time. I think she's been there for TC. She's been there for Puppy, whoever else. And I think she needs to have a safe space, of her own. And yes, Amber has a problem. Absolutely. I don't even like Amber. But it hasn't been that long since that procedure. And I'm giving her grace on that alone. Taylor and Chance. Bobby comes over, and when she asks Chance where Taylor is, he tells Bobby Taylor is in the back effing around. They show Taylor in the back with the newborn trying to change his diaper, one of the other daughters in the room, and then one of the huge dogs running around all on the bed and stuff. But she's effing around. Chance should have had his eyes on both of those dogs while Taylor was with that baby. And baby Mason is really adorable. He looks just like Taylor. There was a crib full of clothes in Taylor and Chance's bedroom. There were 4 bikes and 4 scooters on that front porch. There are 2 huge dogs looming around. And 4 kids. It's just chaos in that environment. So it's no wonder there's chaos in their relationship. Everywhere they turn, it's just stuff and chaos. Taylor doesn't want to tell Chance where she's going with Bobby. And then Chance acting like he doesn't even want to be home with the kids. As if Taylor doesn't literally stay home all day with the kids for a living. So it really shouldn't matter how long Taylor is going to be gone. She took the newborn with her. Heck, the kids have grown now. Fast forward, we then get a scene of Taylor being shown sitting on the couch. Y'all, this was so pathetic. Sitting on the couch tracking Chance's whereabouts while one of her kids is cursing in front of her, using the F-bomb specifically. She's not even present with her children, who have a broom on the couch as a toy. The kitchen looks atrocious. It's just a mess all around in there. When is Taylor going to pull it together and enhance the quality of life for these children instead of chasing behind Chance? Then Bobby's bored behind, offers to go with her to go pull up on Chance to catch him. Chance is shown asking a lady to meet him up for dinner that evening. So that's where Taylor and Chance, we're going to see them pull up. Taylor and Bobby pull up on Chance. Lindsay and Blaine. I think, this is it. Lindsay swears up and down she's always had to do everything for herself. As if she wasn't in prison hella times with a whole daughter that had to be cared for without Lindsay's help. Lindsay is on this show because she uses men to fund her lifestyle while she screws them over and goes back to prison. We don't empathize or sympathize, Lindsay. Sometimes it is a little more difficult for people coming out of prison to fully immerse themselves into real life comfortably. Heck, regular people who haven't been to prison have difficulty immersing themselves into life comfortably, especially with inflation and whatnot. So you'll be fine, Lindsay. Perhaps try putting out good karma so that you can receive good karma. Start there. Because I'm with Blaine. Now that Lindsay is actually responsible for something and is actually being an adult, she wants a cookie. Goodbye. This is what you're supposed to do. You wanted Blaine. This is who you screwed Deontay over. This is who you embarrassed Deontay over. This is your king. Don't get mad about it now. What was Blaine doing for money while you were cheating on Deontay with him? And I'm not addressing Brittany and Marcelino. I'm just not. I'm over them. They need to get off the show. It just doesn't help their relationship. They got too many kids. They got too much to lose. Like, they got a real family to be sitting on camera doing what they're doing. So I'm over it with them. But I thank you for tuning in to my video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, give me your feedback. Tell me what you think of these couples. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye.